Somewhere between 10 and 50% of Filipinos online are scamming or are performing scams on a continuum. You have the professional scammer who has 2 or 3 or 4 foreign boyfriends. Their life is largely fabricated, but consists of asking for regular supplies of money. And by the time that 1 or 2 of the boyfriends have grown tired of the lies and the manipulation, they're busy creating new boyfriends. And, perhaps they can get a reasonable salary or even a good salary by Filipino standards over time, right? Then you have the occasional scammers, right, that will lie about certain things. Maybe they're married, but they say that they're single. Maybe they don't. They have children, but they say that they don't. They say they speak great English, but they speak little or no English at all. But they're using lies as a basis of getting into a relationship. And then you have Filipinas that will get close, will be sexual, and then ask for money, in a sense, a delayed prostitution. A prostitute will say, I will have sex with you for this amount of money, but a scammer will have sex with you and then create a story or a manipulation and ask for money as well. According to the Filipinas that I've met who tell me about their friends and their relatives, up to 50% of Filipinas will lie in order to secure a relationship, in order to secure money, or in order to secure money directly. So on the surface, it makes sense, right? If you lie, then you may get more money, right? And so it sounds reasonable. However, the scammer ultimately scams themselves, and there's an incredibly high cost to scamming over time. So let's look at the costs of being a scammer. And we can also look, later at the costs of a foreign scammer who's lying and cheating in order to obtain sex that they would not get if they told the truth, right? And so you have scams on both sides. There's a cost to scamming on both sides. So the first very high cost that a scammer pays is that the very best people do not lie. And as a result, they can easily spot liars. So the very, very best people are not scammed, number one. And two, you've just avoided connecting with them. I've only taken one Filipina over to the United States. And, at the time that I met her, she was making 6,000 pesos a month as a golf caddy on the Southwoods golf course. So 6,000 pesos a month. And I gave her a job, and in her job, she made $6,000, or a 50 times increase in her salary, right? So, 300,000 pesos a month for her salary. Now, a scammer does not make 300,000 pesos a month. Now, number one, they usually scam for a few thousand pesos, right? Now, I don't I don't form relationships with scammers, right? And because I don't lie, it's relatively easy to spot a scammer. It can take a little bit of time. It can take a week. It can take 2 weeks. But someone who lies leaves a trail, and eventually that trail comes to light. And when it does, the possibility for trust, for relationship, for love is destroyed. It's lost. So a scammer is really scamming themselves, right? They could be trustworthy. They could be hardworking. They could be honest. They could be caring and loving. They could grow as a human being. And they could find real love with a real person. And if they wanted to, whether working in the Philippines or abroad, they could make 10 times the salary of a typical Filipina. It would require some patience, some vision, right? Some discipline. But then you have a long-lasting, loving relationship. You have a skill, and you have independence. You have your own income. This is a gift of self-love. Someone who is constantly dependent on lies, constantly resenting other people, constantly punishing themselves and others, who no one can form a long-term relationship with because they're not worthy of trust, because anyone who gets close to them sees that they're always lying. They lose everything, right? So the scammer is ultimately scamming themselves more than anything else, because in order to set out to scam people, you have to believe a couple of lies. Number one, you have to believe you're not worth real and true love. If you believe that you are capable of creating real and true love, then it's so precious, it's so valuable, you don't give it up for a scam. So you have to believe you are not worthy of true love and you're incapable of creating it. That's a lie. The second lie is you have to believe that you can make more money scamming than creating a good life and contributing value. This is also a lie, right? You can make more money scamming than you can working a lazy job or working a bad job or doing a bad job where you don't get paid very well. But if you start your own business, right, if you connect well with trustworthy people and support them and build a career and a series of relationships over time, you can create far more money working a good job honestly and trustworthily than you can scamming. I started my business when I was 17 years old for 2,000 pesos. And because I treat my clients well, because I never lie to my clients, because I treat my employees well, because I never lie to my employees, my clients trust me, my employees trust me. I have more work than I can do in my business, so I have to give work away to other people because I cannot do it all. And I make millions of dollars owning my business, doing good work. Right? So that didn't happen overnight. That happened over 30 years of growth and discipline, of hard work, of study. Right? Every day I learn something new that helps my business. And it's exciting to help other people, right? So a scammer scams themselves because they don't trust other people because they are themselves dishonest. And some people are trustworthy. They don't make as much money as someone who successfully runs a long-term business. They cannot find a long-term lasting relationship with a good person because anyone who supports their scamming is themselves dishonest. So it's a very high cost to be a scammer, and it's a very tempting lie to believe that this is the way to get ahead, that this is the way to make money. Now, the same thing happens in reverse. Many foreigners will lie about their situation in order to secure sex with a Filipina. And they are scamming themselves with the idea that having sex with a variety of people is more valuable than a loving relationship with a good Filipina. Right? What men need, caring, honesty, love, someone that understands them, is far more valuable than sex. But you have to earn that by showing up. You can't just show up, right, and lie to people and have people care about you for a long time. Right? You have to earn that by being trustworthy. And then the love you are capable of receiving is many times more valuable than the scam or the sex that you are able to manipulate. Right? So people need love more than they need lies and sex. People need to become their best selves more than they need, right, a little bit of cash that comes from lies. Now, the most important thing to understand is that in the long run, we are our biggest enemy. There's nothing stopping many, many, many Filipinas from growing or starting their own business, from growing or starting their own YouTube channel, from becoming a virtual assistant, from learning. The main impediment is ignorance and a high tolerance for ignorance. Right? I've given books away, and Filipinos don't want to read a free book that could help them make lots of money. So laziness, your laziness is your enemy. Lies, your lies are your enemies. Your scams hurt you more than they hurt other people. Right? So why did I give one Filipina an opportunity to come to the US and make 300,000 pesos a month? She worked hard. She didn't lie. She didn't ask for money. She was growing as a human being. Right? She wasn't lazy. She wasn't a scammer. She was a nice human being who was working very hard to grow her reality. And because it's enjoyable, it's nice to support people who are working hard to support themselves. Right? I gave her a book to read. She read it. I gave her things to do to improve her life. She did them. I said, this is someone who wants to improve their life, who will work hard and who will do it. So she gets the opportunity. Now, who doesn't get the opportunity? Countless scammers. Oh, they may get 1,000 here, 1,000 there. It's nothing, right? The person who is honest, who is sincere, who is kind, who follows advice, who works hard, who studies, who takes the opportunities given to her, who is grateful, right? 300,000 pesos a month, plus opportunities, right? Everyone wants to give opportunities to people who are hardworking, intelligent, nice, and doing their best. Nobody wants to give opportunities to scammers who are lying, who are lazy, who are not improving their own life. right? So don't be a scammer because it's honest, right? Don't be a scammer because it's crazy. It's insane. It destroys your possibilities, right? You have no idea what good, healthy people may reject you because of your lies, because of your scam, that would love to love you, that would love to be loved by you as a healthy human being.